Computing has become so fast and so powerful that we can now generate and capture information capable of prediction, decision-making, recognition, and even thinking. So what do we mean by data? Let's start with some basics. That speed allows the device in your hands to make decisions in an instant. Like a quarterback throwing a pass downfield, you're no longer recording just a point of view of one or two cameras. You're recording everything. The result redefines an immersive experience. By recording a scene this way, we effectively have the ability to take the viewer inside the 3D space of the scene from any angle he or she wants. Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. And Intel is helping from taking entertainment to new heights with a synchronized drone show, to seeing the future of connectivity with the largest 5G demonstration at the Olympic Park, to transforming how the world watches sports with the first Olympic Winter Games broadcast live in virtual reality. Intel is integrating innovative technology to ensure fans don't just witness the moment, they experience it. And this immersive experience is best with a VR headset. But for tonight, we've retrofitted the room here with a screen to give you the same view as virtual reality. So let's give it a try. Because our teams have been on the ground preparing to bring these amazing moments to life with our Intel True VR solution. And together with the International Olympic Committee and the Olympic Broadcasting Services, we'll deliver the largest ever VR experience with a total of 30 events, both live and on demand. This is an incredibly ambitious undertaking, so we can give viewers the opportunity to experience the games in an entirely new way. I'd like you to take a quick look behind the scenes at how we'll do it. And in the US here, we're working with NBC Olympics to deliver the Olympic Games in virtual reality to fans through the NBC Sports VR app. And you can go to your favorite app store and download that. So this technology will give family and friends the chance to see athletes compete as if they were truly attending in person. Now, if you've ever witnessed one of these, I highly encourage you to go out and check it out. The esports competition has set truly a new standard for gaming. And something unique this year, in 2018, for the first time, a standalone esports tournament will be played with StarCraft 2 leading up to the Olympic Games. You can turn it on Twitch, on the finals on February 5th. Now, the power of data is influencing a variety of events beyond the Olympics and esports. And Ferrari is another place. I mean, Ferrari is one of the most iconic names in motorsports and sets a high standard for racing. And I'm excited to announce that Intel has partnered with Ferrari of North America to bring the power of artificial intelligence to the Ferrari Challenge. There's one more place I'd like to look at where you'll see data and sports come together, and that's in the National Football League. Intel and the NFL have been exploring ways to provide fans with more immersive ways of enjoying the sport. And as the technology advances, we're going to explore a variety of opportunities to create an immersive experiences that are tailored to the individual viewing habits.
So now I put on the game here. Now the first thing you're gonna notice, you have this game on the giant screen above you. Right now it's 195 foot and you can see the entire field. But you also see a little blue square, and that's actually the view I have in my headset. Now, if you're watching this at home on your HD screen, you would have almost that exact same view. But look at all the data that's outside that little blue square. I mean, all that data has to be constantly updated and refreshed, so when I move my headset, I have a seamless view of the field. Now, when I'm watching the game at home, I'm typically always going to my tablet or my phone to check out my fantasy football team. But because I've got multiple data streams here, I've actually taken my entire fantasy football team and brought them into this game. So if you look on the far left-hand side of your screen, you'll see my entire fantasy football roster. And you can see how easy it is for me to look at them, see what their scores are, and how they're doing. Now, if they've got a green circle on them, that means they're on the field and they could score at any second. But if that circle is flashing, that means they had a huge bump in their fantasy points. And it looks like, well, I've got two players. One of them, Marquise Goodwin, actually has the Intel TrueView logo next to him. So that means there's a highlight video, but not a 2D highlight video, but one of those amazing 360-degree videos that Brian was telling you earlier. So let's head to the San Francisco 49er game where they're taking on the LA Rams and check out the highlight. Now you can see Marquise Goodwin, he's on the left-hand side of the field. He's streaking down. He's in double coverage, but look how he uses his body to separate the player, the defender from the ball, uses a tremendous leaping ability, and makes the very athletic catch. Now, it was catches like this that made me fall in love with the NFL as a kid, but my fantasy team is going off.
It's a great example of how we're going to transform fantasy football and sports in general. Thanks a lot, Chuck.
Thanks, Brian.
This is the magic needed to make you feel like you're right on the field with your favorite players, or even see through their eyes, allowing you to be the player. With this technology, watching sports will never be the same. So let's take a look at a clip from the LA Chargers versus the New England Patriots, a game where we will become Tom Brady. That's a different perspective. That's a perspective that nobody else can provide you. There's not a camera in his helmet. There's not another system showing that. That's going inside one of those voxels and looking out from outside his helmet. To give us an outside-in perspective of this technology, we wanted to find somebody who has experienced this point of view from the field and analyzed plays in the booth.
And then all of a sudden you look at the screen, you're like, whoa, this is different. And you don't even know you're looking at this 3D thing that's 360 degrees. And, you know, I told Brian earlier, I was like, who's the guy that's got that camera that's just, you know, controlling this thing that's moving around so much? And
so let's roll the first single camera. And what you can see is the Western scene. They're fighting. The hero breaks free, gets on the horse, and rides away. And that's pretty much the traditional view of a movie. And what that is we just took one of those 100 cameras and captured just that video and displayed it for you here. Now, I want to show you that same scene, the exact same scene, captured volumetrically. So instead of the one camera, we just combined all 100 and the petabytes of data that it took to go produce this. It's a fantastic example, we believe, of what's possible when we bring this new era of data to the world of filmmaking. So let's take a look at that volumetric version. A little bit different, huh? Which movie do you want to watch? So this is still a work in progress. As I said, we just finished this in the fall. It's still being refined. And we really believe this is a new beginning to a new kind of content production. One that you'll be able to see in a variety of viewing ways: virtual reality, traditional. Now, the important thing to remember is that we shot this scene only one time. And now we have all that data and the ability to recreate the scene from any point of view. You could walk through it at any point and just look around. You could see it from the outside. You could spin the camera around, as we did, in other directions. You could be an observer looking through one of those windows. Or you could be the actor yourself. And we chose to just take it a next step and show you a non-traditional actor. So we chose to give you the view from the horse. So you always wondered what it was like to be a horse, right? It's not that important that it's the horse here. The amazing thing about this technology is that you can do the scene and then you can look at it from any perspective. And there's going to be non-traditional perspectives that are going to give us a completely different view and different interpretation of a scene. And that's the real flexibility that creators will have in the future. Paramount Pictures. And to tell us a little bit more about how we are revolutionizing media is Paramount Pictures Chairman and CEO, Jim Giannopoulos.
Paramount is a storied institution with a great legacy, and we're privileged to have creative relationships with some of the most talented and acclaimed filmmakers in the world, storytellers that have truly achieved great achievements. And so combining that with our executive teams, and especially with advancements like this volumetric technology you showed, the future's really bright. So we're very excited about it.
So let's think about the next decade. What type of experiences do you think you could envision for viewers looking at a technology like this and that creative talent you have?
Well, the advances in cinema have come from seeking out new frontiers. And so partnering with Intel on this type of technology is a key to our future. You see the technology you've developed as an impressive step in the creation of a new form of entertainment. And we think audiences are going to embrace this new generational experience. So, your video highlighted the evolution of the cinematic experience from silence to sound, from black and white to color, and then on to 3D and other technologies. All of those were advancements in giving the audience a new way to see entertainment closer to the way we experience the real world. And so virtual and augmented reality are the next level. And as audiences are moving from a flat screen to an immersive experience, we'll be able to convey the world and the cinematic setting and the storytelling setting in a way closer to reality than cinema has ever been able to do before.
So for the movie watching experience of the future, what type of movies do you think you'll see using this volumetric video?
Well, I think you're going to see some remarkable filmmaking. When you give filmmakers tools like this, their imagination is unfettered, and you get some of the most gifted and talented filmmakers in the world. You can only imagine what talent like that could do with this technology. And so with Intel's help, we'll be taking advantage of the latest creative and technological tools to put our audiences literally inside the movie experience and give them a vision of the future of entertainment like never before. That's very exciting.
Yeah, Jim, I just want to thank you for coming here to CES and this partnership. And for us technologists, we can't wait to hand this over to the creative people that you bring.
It'll be our pleasure. Thank you, Brian. Take care.
And they'll actually be able to move and control their own experiences. Imagine you being able to watch a movie and pick the character you want to be. That's going to be a whole new experience. Now, this isn't limited to movies, but extends to television, advertising, music, gaming, and so much more we haven't even begun to imagine. This type of immersive experience will become the new normal as incredible amounts of content is created and audiences engage with this new innovative type of media. We've been building something that truly mimics the way that the brain observes, learns, and understands. Our research efforts have produced a prototype chip called Loihi. To understand more, let's hear from some of our team that has been working on it.
And neuromorphic computing is throwing that out and starting from a completely different point on the architectural spectrum.
Our own brains are remarkable in what they can do. We're simply trying to learn from what our brains, the brains of animals, can do to make systems that are smarter and more efficient.
And what we're looking for is to connect all of the neurons in the chip, much like we would with an actual brain. So neuromorphic computing is basically the concept that we're going to simulate the brain in silicon.
And after only a few weeks, it's already performing simple object recognition in the labs. This incredible technology is going to influence future products and innovations. And in the years ahead, Intel will put Loihi in the hands of our research partners to unleash the true potential of our prototype. We're really optimistic about what this new kind of computing can achieve over time. I'd like to take another leap in computing, though, and this time make it a quantum leap. And let's talk about quantum computing for a second. And quantum computing represents an entirely different approach to computing. This technology will be able to solve problems that are insurmountable today. Quantum computers are composed of quantum bits, or you often hear the term qubits. They use massively parallel processing to solve problems that today the best supercomputers will take months or even years to resolve. So what can you do with all this computing power? Well, one possibility is you could model chemical molecular interactions for drug development. And this often requires testing endless combinations of molecules to find the right solutions. And with quantum computing, this process is dramatically accelerated. This is just one example of how we're thinking about quantum computing today. Just as we ushered in the era of our classical personal computing, we're pushing the boundaries of the quantum computing revolution. Our labs and researchers are committed to these innovations, and we see it as fundamental scientific and engineering challenge. Now, we've been working with the leading Q-Tech labs at Delft University in the Netherlands to test and build full quantum computing systems. And you've probably heard us talk about our 7 and 17 qubit systems. Well, today, I'm proud to show you the next step. I'm proud to introduce to you our 49 qubit quantum chip. This 49 qubit chip pushes beyond our ability to simulate and is a step towards quantum supremacy, a point at which quantum computers far and away surpass the world's best supercomputers. We expect to solve key technical challenges that must be overcome to move quantum computing forward. There's quite a bit more work required than just this chip, but this is a major breakthrough in quantum computing. We're going to continue innovating in this space to tackle life-changing complex problems and believe the most impact will be in things like materials science and the discovery of new materials such as superconductors and new molecules to advance pharmaceuticals. The future of both neuromorphic and quantum computing are coming much faster than anyone imagined. And I'm confident that they'll transform our lives for the better. The next generation of computing will be more than about technology. It will also focus on how the industry positively impacts society. This is where Intel has made significant investments and impacts over the years. 4 years ago, on the stage at CES, I talked to you about conflict minerals. And after careful researching about where our minerals were coming from, we committed to use only conflict-free minerals in our microprocessors. Now, through further effort with third parties and direct validations by our supply chain, we've gone well beyond microprocessors to ensure that every product is labeled conflict-free. Three years ago, we took a hard look at the data about women and underrepresented minorities in the technology industry. And we knew change was needed. In 2015, we set a goal to invest $300 million over 5 years to improve diversity in our workplace. And I'm pleased to share with you that we've had great success. We've increased the diversity of Intel's US workforce, and we'll reach our full representation by the end of 2018, a full 2 years earlier than we committed. And that's a major milestone for the industry. We'll continue to publish our data on a regular basis to prioritize diversity and inclusion, allowing Intel employees to be part of a culture that positively impacts society. Now, there's a next area that we believe we can go and impact society, and that's in safety and transportation.
Mobileye is proud to be part of Intel, and we are excited to be working together on building a world of safer cars.
Yeah, so I think this audience would be interested a little bit in understanding how exactly the Mobileye technology can lead us to a safer future with fewer accidents, and how you really see it playing out.
Well, it starts with sensors. We have cameras, about 12 cameras around the car. We have a cocoon of radars and laser scanners, LiDARs, all fed into high-performance computing system on chips from Mobileye and an Atom architecture by Intel. So when we talk about cameras, we have 3 cameras in front, 3 different fields of view, which gives you about 180 degrees in total, and very high resolution, so you can see about 250, 300 meters range. We have cameras, wing cameras and side cameras that give you half a sphere on the side, a rear camera, and then 4 parking cameras, altogether 12 cameras, and then radars and LiDARs for redundancy. And I think we'll say bye-bye to Yaman. Thank you. So the social cost of road accidents is just too great, and we believe building trust between our consumers and the vehicles is critical. So we have identified 4 areas that we are addressing to make autonomous vehicle real. First is sensing, and that includes all the high-performance computing. Then mapping, driving policy, which is about planning decisions and merging into traffic, and then models that provide safety guarantees, which are coordinated with government regulations.
Okay, so let's start with sensing, since that's like really the root of these cars. I have this great visual of a car behind us. Can you help us understand what role Mobileye plays in the sensors?
Well, let's start with today. Today, Mobileye system on chip and software powers driving assist cameras on over 24 million cars. So 9 million of them installed during 2017. Now, we had 30 design wins with 27 car makers during 2017, and we'll be launching 15 production programs in 2018. So most likely, if you're driving a vehicle equipped, if you're driving a vehicle, it's equipped with Mobileye, and this is real reality. And our technology enables driving assist functions such as automatic emergency braking, lane keeping support, traffic sign recognition, and much more. And we are in many different car brands on the road. This includes Ford, GM, Audi, BMW, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, and many more.
Okay, so can we talk about how this all works? And so I've got the sensors now. How does it really come together?
Well, there are 3 pieces. So in the car that you have just seen, you have an architecture of computing that processes the raw sensor signals and creates an environmental model with every detail around the car. So we're talking about road users, objects, and drivable paths. Then we have massively advanced driving policy software, and using reinforcement learning that makes decisions of driving maneuvers that are, and including assertive ones, and providing safety guarantees together. Into this mix comes also high-definition maps, which creates further redundancy and foresight of drivable paths to make sure that nothing of value is missed by the system.
So I think you and I are big advocates of this technology. How fast do you think this is advancing? What's the rate of advancement here?
Well, actually, very rapidly. We are developing faster processing chips and superior software, and the very best architecture combining Mobileye's IQ system on chips and Intel's Atom architecture. To be more specific, in few months, we are sampling our 5th generation system on chip, the IQ5, that is expected to run 24 tera operations per second at an extremely low power of 10 watts. Raw computing density is important. That's the 24 teraops. Diversity of cores is also important in order to run different workloads, but power is crucial.
Right.
You know, this machine needs to fit in a car, most likely powered by a battery. So every watt counts.
So that 24 teraops at 10 watts is an important set of parameters.
It's not only important, it's the best on the planet. And to give you a sense of accuracy. And accuracy comes from the accuracy of the map data itself, but also accuracy of localization. The system in real time localizes the car inside the map. So crowdsourcing is the most affordable way to create real-time, up-to-date, and accurate maps. And the industry is on board. We have production programs this year, launching from BMW, Nissan, and Volkswagen. They'll be equipped with REM and begin crowdsourcing and updating the REM map in 2018. We have global mapping is advancing rapidly, and one of the most exciting areas of autonomous driving. We are announcing today 2 new mapping partnerships in China with SAIC and also NavInfo. And with these new relationships, REM is in every major market.
So, you know, you and I have been big advocates and believe in this technology. And the critical piece will be getting the regulators and the local governments to really help us make this a reality as well, correct? By data. Now, this is not the type of drone you can buy in a store. The hardware is a completely new design, so it can be safely flown and navigate indoors where there is no GPS. It has the most advanced software and is fully automated. And a single fleet of 100 drones can be controlled by one pilot. I really hope you enjoyed the new member of our family. This is a show that a lot of engineers have been working on. But what you also probably don't know is you just witnessed an official Guinness World Record. The world's first 100-drone indoor flight show without GPS. For more original shooting star drone light shows, please join us tonight at 9 p.m. outside at the Bellagio Fountains, and again at 11 p.m., now weather permitting. I never thought it rained in Vegas. You can also catch more planned shows at the Bellagio Fountains Tuesday through Thursday at 8 and 10 p.m. I really want to thank you for joining me tonight to take a glimpse into the future of technology. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy CES 2018.